lot of people have checked out my video on the 85mm lens from Viltrox that came out a little while ago. And that tells me that a lot of people are interested in a third-party lens manufacturer making lenses for Fujifilm. I know this because it's like the most popular video on my channel by a lot. So when I heard that Viltrox was going to be coming out with 3 new prime lenses, I was pretty excited to say the least. But then I read which prime lenses they'd be coming out with. Now before we go any further, I want to stop right here and say a big thank you to FujiRumors.com. Patrick on Fuji Rumors works tirelessly to keep us up to date with anything that happens in the Fujifilm world, even stuff that happens outside the Fujifilm world. He's really cool. So thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Fuji Rumors. All the information that I've gathered came directly from them. I wouldn't know any of this stuff without them. So thanks a lot, Fuji Rumors. You should go like their Facebook page. If you have a Fujifilm camera, you should go join their Fujifilm Facebook groups. I think I said all that right. But yeah, there's a lot of good information there. The groups are really cool. They help you learn your camera, and it's just awesome. So all my people from the Fujifilm Fuji Rumors groups, if you're watching this video, shout out to you. Thank you for watching. But now let's go ahead and talk about these lenses. When they first announced what lenses would be coming after the 85, I was a little I don't know. So let's talk about the bad and the good. Let's start with the bad. Now, when you look at these lenses, they're going to be releasing a 56 f1.4, a 33 f1.4, and a 23 f1.4. Now, you're probably watching this because you have a Fujifilm camera, right? If there's anything you know about Fujifilm, it's that we already have these lenses. We have multiple options for every one of these lenses. There's the 56 1.2, there's the 50mm f2, there's the 35 f2 and the 1.4, there's the 23 1.4 and the f2. Zeiss even makes like a 32 or 33 or something like that. There's multiple options. We already have endless debates over which one's the best. So why Viltrox? Why add to the chaos? See, that's what I initially thought. That's the end of the bad. Let's talk about the good. What I soon realized is that what I've always wanted from Fujifilm, I don't like to decide. I don't like to choose, should I get the f2 version that has fast focusing, accurate autofocus in video mode and weather sealing, or do I get the fast version like the f1.2 or the f1.4? I don't like to make that concession. I'm shooting this with the 23 f1.4, which it's not that great for video. Like I hear it right now, click, 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 click. It's trying to focus on my face. It's doing a pretty good job, but it's not that great at it. And if I needed to rely on that audio coming out of the camera, you better believe that all that noise is going to be in there as well. But it's the 23 f1.4. For me, there's no choice. The f2, it's not really for me. Like, I want my lens, if I'm gonna have a prime lens, it needs to be fast. It needs to be really fast. That's what prime lenses are for, right? So if you think of it in those terms, basically what Viltrox is going to give us is, aside from weather sealing, no more compromising. Because all these lenses are going to have STM motors. Is it STM motors, or like, is the M and STM stand for motor? I have no idea. Anyways, the 85mm has that smooth, quick, like, it just works for video. It's great for video. I've loved it so far. For stills, it's great. You know, it doesn't matter what your autofocus is doing as long as it's quick and it's accurate. But for video, we need it to be smooth and accurate and fast, you know? And the 85 does that. So these new lenses are all going to have that same kind of motor, at least as far as we can tell. I mean, that's what it says. They haven't really even been officially released yet. So who knows what it'll actually be like. We're just going off what the 85 is. If the 85 is any indication, these lenses are going to be awesome. They're not going to have weather sealing, but honestly, neither do Fuji's fast version of primes, except for the 16mm. So basically, if you tell me that I can get a 23-1.4, a 35-1.4, and a 56 1.4. It's not a 1.2, but 1.4 is better than at the f2 version, right? Right, I'll take it. And you're telling me that all of the fast versions of the lenses are going to have a focus motor that lets me use them in video mode? I'm sold. I'm already sold. I'm already sold. So, and if the 85 again is any indication, then they're going to cost even less than the f2 versions that Fuji sells. So again, I'm very excited to get my hands on these lenses and see how they work. I mean, I don't really know what Fujifilm has planned. If they would release some Mark II versions of their fast lenses and give them an STM motor or whatever it is that's in like the 16-55 or the 50-140, those lenses focus fast. I remember listening to a podcast and Billy from Fujifilm was saying that they have to choose which focusing motor to put in there. And I guess the fast primes need a lot of torque to get all that glass moving, which I can understand that, but I have a hard time believing that something like the 23-1.4 or the 35-1.4 needs more torque than something like the 16-55 or the 50-140, because I mean the 16-55 has like a 77mm filter thread. Like the front element is huge on that lens and it has a bunch of glass in between there. Now, I don't know anything about making camera lenses, obviously, but it kind of seems to me like, I feel like they could do that. Maybe they use the other motors so that the primes stay small, because I know a lot of people care about that. But honestly, if they would just release a second version of all these lenses with weather sealing and with a fast, smooth focusing motor, they could keep making, or I guess the used market is big enough that people would still buy the version 1s if they just wanted to do stills. But this mentality of optimizing stuff for stills really doesn't make sense anymore. I mean, I'm shooting this on the X-T3, guys. Like, it's like one of the most advanced video cameras that you can get for under $2,000. I mean, it's amazing what it can do, right? But Fuji's lineup of lenses, I don't know, they're not really optimized for shooting video. At least not the primes. And the primes are what draw people to Fujifilm. They see the f1.4, the f1.2 version of these lenses. That's what draws them to the system. It's only after they get it and they shoot with it that they realize, like, oh, this isn't really that good for video. It's a stellar lens for stills, but it's not really that good for video. So even though Fujifilm already makes two different versions of these primes, you might initially think Viltrox was kind of crazy for coming in and trying to duplicate those focal lengths. But after you look at it, I really think what they're doing is brilliant. They're giving us hybrid shooters a viable option. We get the fast aperture and we get the focusing motor that we want. Now, in addition to the focusing motors, there's something else about these lenses that I really am looking forward to. Now, if you look on the spec sheet that Fuji Rumors put up, all of the lenses have a 52mm filter thread. So that's awesome. I mean, the 23 has a 62mm. The 56, what does the 56 have? I'll put it right here, right there, right there. And the 35, what does that have? Right here? Because I don't know off the top of my head. Maybe they're all the same size, I don't really know. But yeah, all of these new Viltrox lenses are going to have a 52mm filter thread. So that's just nice. It's nice when you can take less and less ND filters with you. So I have a pretty good 52mm variable ND filter that I use on my 18mm f2. So it's nice I don't have to buy anything new and I can just get one good one and use it with all of them. That's pretty cool. Also, all of these lenses are under 300 grams. I think it's like 250, 260, 280, 290. They're all right there in that little range. So what I'm hoping, and until we get it, of course, you can't really tell, but what I'm really hoping is that all of them will balance on a gimbal the same way. Could you imagine that, being able to just, you like those sound effects? Just going in and out, going right back and forth between primes without having to rebalance your gimbal. that would be awesome. So that's definitely something I'm going to look into as part of my review whenever I get my hands on these lenses. So I'm super excited about them. They also have an aperture ring on them. That's like a small side note. They have aperture ring, so you don't even have to give that up. Like the 85 doesn't have it. I wish it did, but it doesn't. It's not that big a deal. But these new lenses from the mock-ups they had, or I guess they're leaked images, they have aperture rings on them. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. So I'm super excited about them. If you're super excited about them, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Check out my other video. I have an unboxing video for the Viltrox 85, and I have like an initial review because I used the Viltrox 85 on a wedding, like a 12-hour wedding day. So there'll be links to that at the end of this video. Check those out if you're interested in seeing how it compares. I'm probably going to make another video after a couple more months of having the Viltrox 85 because it's awesome. It's awesome. I think it deserves a follow-up review. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you're going to pick up these primes, if you're going to pick up 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or I don't know, or none of them. Let me know if you completely hate the idea of getting third-party lenses for Fujifilm. I know there's a lot of people out there that are kind of polarized by this subject. So at the end of the day, more options, this is not bad for anybody, right? Maybe Fujifilm will bring down the price on their lenses, and then all of you guys that don't want to touch the Viltrox stuff, you win too. So that's all I got to say. Thank you for watching. Peace.